Hey everybody, it is that time of the week again. It is Live with Kristy Wednesday, Wicked Wednesday, Werewolf Wednesday, Wonderful Wednesday, whatever kind of Wednesday you're having. I'm having a great Wednesday. So, yay, I'm back. I couldn't do this last week, but I'm back. Hello everybody. Hello Cameron, how are you? Hello JB, how are you? Hello David. Hello Dean. Oh, I hope you're doing well. Hello Jerome. Hello, Jeff, Jimmy. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. Yes, happy hump day, Jeff. Hello, Quentin. How are you? Hello, Stefan. How are you? Thank you for coming on. Hey, Ryan. Hey, that horror couple. Hey, Robbie and Kaylee. Just so y'all know, we mentioned y'all on the podcast, me and Brian, because, we talked about some stuff. We love you guys. I love that horror couple. If y'all are not following that horror couple on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that, y'all need to be following them. They are a ton of fun. Love them. Hello, Zombie Momsen. How are you? You got me a little something. Oh, I can't wait to see you next weekend at Texas Frightmare. Hello, Captain Spaulding. How are you? Hello, Chris. How are you? Maniac? No, it's not Maniac. It's not Maniac. You're close. Sort of close. Oh, thanks, Dean. I'm glad you like the new setup. Hello, Mr. Halloween. Come to Vegas. Oh, yay! Are there? Oh, well, congratulations on getting married. That'll be fun coming to Vegas for your honeymoon. Tons of fun things to do here for horror fans. But yes, please come to Nightmare Toys. You'll love it. You agree with him on Night Swim? Right. Hello, Elaine. How are you? Elaine, I finally have something, but you're going to be upset. So I finally have, I'll just go ahead and talk about it right now. I have a new Ghostface figure that we just got in. It's the new vinyl figure that I've been talking about this whole time that I said I've been waiting for us to get in. But we are actually going to be taking the stock that we got in to Texas Frightmare. So we won't have these in the store and we won't have these online. Unless for some reason we don't sell them at Texas Frightmare, and then when we get back, we will put them online. But the Screamcast is going to be at Texas Frightmare next weekend, and we just thought we didn't get very many of these, so we just thought that we would take these to Texas Frightmare as something different for everybody there to get signed if they wanted to have something to get signed by the cast. Now, this is a new product. I haven't had this product in before. It's from a company called U2's. So maybe you can look up that company if you're interested in this. I didn't get it from this company. It's also Entertainment Earth as well. I had to get it from Entertainment Earth. So maybe look up that company, U2's. It's Y-O-U-U and then Two's T-O-O-Z. So maybe you can order from them. But there were like different variations. This is the bloody variation, but they had one that wasn't bloody as well. But this is really cool figure. Like, I want one. And we don't have enough for me to have one. But like the box is kind of like a Funko box in a way. And then it even comes in its own plastic protector. So that's really cool. So yeah, if you're going to be at Texas Frightmare, we're going to have these at the Nightmare Toys booth. So just wanted to show those off really quick. Some Ghostface. I always think of you, Elaine, when I get Ghostface. So, but I'll see if I can order more though, because I think that's going to be a pretty hot item. It's pretty cool looking. So yeah, he has blood on him. It's hard to see in the package, but he has a bloody face, and then you can see the blood on the knife and stuff. And it's like a vinyl figure, and he's on like a round stand like this. So yeah, I think that's really cool. I love it. All right, guys. So this is going to be a jam-packed show. I could not do this last week only because we had went to Alabama And then when I got back from that, there was just, well, went to Alabama. Rachel came back with us, Rachel came back with us, my daughter. So she was here for a whole week. And then after the last time that I had done the show, we were just extremely busy. We had stuff planned with her up until she left. And then I had things scheduled that I had to do. So I ended up not having any time to watch anything. I literally didn't watch not one movie. So I didn't really have anything to review or talk about last week, except for just the stuff that I had been doing. So that's why I didn't do it last week. But now I've watched a lot of stuff. So we're going to talk about Tarot, which is the movie that we did for the podcast, me and Brian. I also watched Immaculate finally. I also watched Infested. And then I have another new indie movie to talk about called The Dead Window. And that will be a perfect movie, something for you to watch for Mother's Day. And then we'll talk about some Mother's Day movies. So that's what I have right here, my Mother's Day movies. So I will dive into some Mother's Day movie recommendations for you guys. And we'll talk about Dawn of the Dead, with it being the 45th anniversary. I also have some other honorable mention movies and shows and other things I'd like to talk about too. So I've got a lot of movies and a lot of things to talk about. Hopefully some good recommendations for you guys to go watch later. And I have just a lot of stuff to talk about, what's been going on with myself and what's been going on with Nightmare Toys and all that. So a lot to talk about. So, let's see. I'm behind on the messages. Give me 2 seconds. I have a few YouTubes. Okay, cool. Expensive on eBay. Oh. Yeah, I'd like to see the pictures of the ones that you have. So they're all on eBay? Oh. Well, if I can get some more of these from Entertainment Earth, I will. But, you may want to look at that up. Hello, Darren. How are you? Thank you for joining in. Hello, Will. Hello, Robert. Hello, Noah. How are you? Wait a minute. What did Jeff say? The same thing with Nev. Wait, what? The Carpenter sisters will not be in Scream, so pass. Oh. Huh. Scream 7's just all over the place at the moment, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about Tarot first. I always like to talk about the podcast movie first. I'm like, I'll try not to do too many spoilers at all, but I don't know how I'm not going to be able to talk about stuff without like spoiling some things. So for me, Tarot, I gave it a 6. Brian gave it a 5. I just kind of thought that Tarot was somewhat of a mediocre horror movie. And I do believe that this particular movie could have been better if it was a rated R than PG-13. But with that said, if you have not gone to watch Tarot yet, or you do want to watch Tarot, I was excited for this movie. So I don't hate it. I don't think that it's garbage or a dumpster fire or a piece of shit or anything like that. I don't think it's that bad. But it is very much like Final Destination, sprinkled in with 13 ghosts. So that's kind of what it's like. It's really Final Destination-ish. PG-13 horror sucks. Well, so far, hello Orlando, how are you? So far, PG-13 movies this year haven't been great. You are correct. That's exactly what Brian's been saying, Jeff. And not all PG-13 horror movies suck, I don't think, but the ones that we've gotten this year haven't been all that fantastic. Trico, hello. How are you? The Ring and Final Destination. Okay, so I was kind of only thinking more Final Destination and 13 Ghosts, but yeah, all of that too. But Trico made a good point, which he's saying right now. And I also said what you had said, Trico, on the podcast. And it's a good point that he said that it should have went to streaming. I do feel like this movie would have, or is more of a type of, a Shudder original or something, or a Hulu movie or something like that. Not saying that there are some really good Shudder and Hulu movies, but I do think that it probably just could have went straight to streaming, though, instead of going to the movie theater. Now, the premise of this is you have a group of college students who have rented this huge house for the weekend. One of the kids, it's their birthday, so I'm guessing that's why they did it. Anyway, so they're there and they're exploring the house, and they're trying to find liquor is what they're trying to find, and instead they find a creepy basement that says on the door, keep locked, don't go in, kind of a thing. And of course they go in, they bust the door open because they want to find liquor, and they don't find liquor, they find a bunch of like strange stuff, and they find these tarot cards. Well, now all of a sudden one of the friends has dabbled in tarot cards and horoscopes, and she's into that sort of thing. So she's kind of, telling them what they are and stuff. And now everybody wants to play the tarot cards, and she's like, no, I don't really want to. She kind of acts like, which is something a point I made. She kind of acts like at the beginning, like she's not all that great with the tarot cards. Like she just kind of dabbles in it. But as the movie goes on, it's like she's this expert. And then when she's reading everybody's horoscopes, because of course, what happens next? They take the tarot cards upstairs, and then she reads everybody's horoscopes with these cards, not knowing that the cards are cursed. Of course they're cursed. And it's like she's all of a sudden is like this whole expert on horoscopes and everything, and I'm just like, okay. But a minute ago she acted like she wasn't, and now she is, and okay, fine. So apparently she reads the horoscopes, and now the whole rest of the movie is all the kids dying off one by one, accordingly exactly to the horoscope that the girl had said. And then their fate card, so you put all the cards in a circle, and you have the one card in the middle, that is your fate card. The fate card always has, you have the characters that are on the cards. So the fate card, whatever character was on that card for that particular person in their horoscope, that entity, I guess we want to call it, I'm not sure what we want to call it, but that entity from that card now appears, and it's going to kill you. And now they're trying to cheat death in a way. They're trying to cheat the tarot cards, just like Final Destination. Exactly like that, but with tarot cards and horoscopes and all of that going on. Like, yeah. So that pretty much is a good assessment of the movie. Now, what I didn't like about the movie, like I said, it's rated PG-13, and when you go to the kills and you see the entities, like on the card, like one guy had a Joker, so the Joker is now there. One girl had Hangman, so now there's this Hangman entity. So that's what I'm talking about. The Hell Priestess lady was kind of cool looking. She was like a witchy lady. She was kind of cool. So what I didn't like is when you come to the kills, like the kills were just very mediocre with it being PG-13. So like the first two kills, all you get is like blood splatter. That's all you see. You don't really see anything. You don't see the kill. You don't see, you'll see the entity and then blood splatter. And then that's it. It gets a little more intense with some of the other people throughout the movie than that, but not too much intense. So that's my biggest gripe about it. I didn't mind the acting or anything like that. none of that bothered me. It's just, I liked the concept of the tarot cards because we haven't really had anything to deal with horoscopes and tarot cards. So I think that concept is really interesting. That's what made me want to watch this movie, and I was interested in it because it was something different. And it is something a little different, but not too different, because then they ended up making it like Final Destination. They even go to another person who was the actress that was in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, the long gray haired lady. They even go to her because she's the expert to tell the whole backstory on the cards and da da da, which is like your Tony Todd character in Final Destination. So it's very much like Final Destination. But I do like the concept of it. I just don't think that it was maybe executed as well as maybe it could have been, or it wasn't as scary as it could have been, maybe. And I liked the entities because that was kind of like the 13 ghosts aspect of it. You know, you have all the 13 ghosts of the Black Zodiac, and this, you know, all of the, I don't know what you call them though. I keep calling them entities. I don't know what you call them. All the characters on the cards, you know, come alive in the same kind of manner like in 13 Ghosts, and you have all those characters. And they were really cool looking. I actually liked them. And of course, there's a lot of CGI with them and stuff, but they were all pretty cool looking, and I liked that. So I give it a 6. I say don't go to the movie theater. I say wait for it to stream for free and then watch it. Just saying. Okay. What are y'all saying? Y'all are I'm missing a whole conversation. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, what is my opinion about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? And that's funny that I even mentioned that. I wasn't a big fan of it. What? The Netflix version? Yeah. The Netflix version. Philip's over there having a heart attack because he thinks I'm talking about the original. No, we're talking about Netflix version. And I haven't watched the new Ghostbusters yet, but I will. No, I didn't really like it. The Netflix Texas Chainsaw. It's not scary, especially for seasonal horror fans. Yeah, it's not really scary. The first Ouija movie. I kind of like the Ouija movie though. I do own that movie. I don't know. I don't think I'll purchase tarot for my collection. I mean, it didn't wow me, you know. The squishy, scaredy cat psychic. I know. Thanks. They are cute, aren't they? I'll talk about those here in a little bit. Sleepover movie, a horror movie you rented. Yeah, that could be a good sleepover movie. That's a good point, Charles. Yeah, it's a good sleepover movie for a bunch of teenagers. Put in tarot. Hey, Anthony, how are you? Yeah, I love Autopsy of Jane Doe. I have watched that a few times, that particular movie. I didn't get to watch the last drive-in because what were we doing? Oh, I had Rachel was here and we went out that night. We went out to the casinos and stuff that night because she had left on Saturday. So I haven't gone back and watched the last drive-in, so I haven't done that yet. I need to do that though, and just see what Joe Bob had to say about it. But I have seen the Autopsy of Jane Doe, and it's a good movie. All right, so since I didn't get to do this last week, I didn't get to talk about some things. Again, I didn't get to talk about the last drive-in because I wasn't able to watch that. Like I had just said, I had took my daughter out that Friday night to some casinos and stuff. And then she went home on Saturday. I don't know what we did Saturday. We were doing something that Saturday. We were busy doing something else. And then Sunday, I want to talk about this really quick before I go into movies. On that Sunday, we had Ice Nine Kills. I know y'all seen my posts and stuff about it, but I just wanted to mention it really quick that it was a most spectacular turnout for the Ice Nine Kills VIP event. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you, Ice Nine Kills, for wanting to do your event in the store. It could not have been a better day for everybody. Everybody was happy. Everybody was having fun. Ice Nine Kills was so awesome. All the band members were so nice. They were having a ton of fun with their fans. About 200 or more people showed up for that. There was a line all the way down the sidewalk, all the way around the block. And then every single one of those people ended up shopping after they got done. And then I still had customers just coming in and shopping that weren't even here for Ice Nine Kills. But they were excited because Ice Nine Kills was in the store while they're in the store. And they're like, oh my God, So it was like a fantastic day for everybody. Just a really fun day. Couldn't have asked for a better event here at Nightmare Toys. So that was a lot of fun, the Ice Nine Kills. So thank you, everybody, for coming out for that. And then there's something else. Some of y'all may know, may not know. I don't know. Let's see. Hold on real quick. I'm very good, Anthony. Thank you. My eyes watering, though. So then that Monday, after Ice Nine Kills, that Monday, me and Philip had to drive to LA. And I had to get my head casted. I did post about this a little bit. I had to get my head casted for Pool Party Massacre 2. Wow, what an experience that was to get your head casted. We were pretty much gone the whole day on Monday. Didn't get home until late because we did drive, and it's about a 4.5-hour drive to where we were going. But Joe Castro, he is doing these special effects for Pool Party Massacre 2. We went to his house and his studio. Super nice guy, super cool. We had a ton of great conversation, and the experience of getting my head casted was quite interesting. So there is a time-lapse video that we made that I have posted on my X page. Since I got casted from here up. So I am topless. So the time-lapse one I posted on the X because that one is safe to post there. But Philip is in the process at the moment of editing a full video and editing some of that out so we can post on YouTube. But he is editing the video, and then I'm going to do like a voiceover on it, like a little narration, just kind of telling y'all what's happening next. And plus you'll hear Joe Castro explain everything as well, and you'll see his studio. So Philip's working on that, and then I'll do the voiceover on that, and we'll get that put up on the YouTube so everybody can watch my head being casted. And we'll put it up on Instagram and everything, like a link and all that, and post about it. But we will just put the full video on YouTube. And I think, and you won't see we're not seeing this. That's why he's editing it. So we can put it on YouTube. I think it's going to be like about 13, 14 minutes long, the full video. But it's very interesting, and you'll get to hear commentary and everything from both me and from Joe. So I think y'all will really like that video, and to see the process being done of getting casted. It was strange. But we'll wait for the video to come out, and I'll talk about how I felt about it and all that on there. So yeah, we'll have that coming up here on the YouTube very soon. Hopefully by this weekend, maybe, or something. So let's see what else was going on. that happened, and I don't know what we were doing the next day, but anyway, yeah. So all that was going on, and that's why I couldn't watch anything. I didn't have any time to watch anything. And then Wednesday and Thursday, just want to put this out there really quick. Wednesday and Thursday, I was a judge for a Pinhead's art show here downtown. Um, and what that is bowling pin art. I posted that on my Instagram too, but I was picked with a couple other business owners downtown to be a judge for that art show, and that was a ton of fun. It was so cool to see all the bowling pins. I didn't get to post all of them, but there was some. The one that I really enjoyed, I did post. There was a girl, and it was a green. Um, uh, Shrunken head looking bowling pin. That was actually my favorite one out of all of them. But that was really cool. So that was fun. So I've done that too as well. All right. So that's just some of the stuff that I've been up to and I've been doing. And I believe we're gonna start shooting Pool Party Massacre 2 at the end of the month. So I will be doing that. So the 29th, I know Drew said that I'm going to be shooting the 28th and 29th. So the 29th is a Wednesday. So obviously I won't be doing my live show or anything that particular Wednesday, since I'll be filming with Drew the Pool Party Massacre 2. So, so that's what's been going on. That is relaxing. It's not. It's like sleeping in the attic when they're replacing your roof. Yeah, it's well, watch the video. We put it out. How about that? Yeah, Abigail is currently available on digital for those who haven't seen it. Yes, it is. Abigail was an awesome movie that has been one of my favorites so far this year. Let's see. And then don't forget, Mother's Day is Sunday, which will lead me into some of my other movies now. Mother's Day is Sunday. Oh, well, Dawn of the Dead, I think the Dawn of the Dead anniversary is actually the 11th. There's a couple different dates. Me and Brian were talking about that. So the Dawn of the Dead 45th anniversary is the 11th. On the 12th is Mother's Day. First off, Dawn of the Dead. I know everybody loves Dawn of the Dead, and everybody's been posting about it and talking about it. I watched it the other day. I posted about it too. I had it on for background noise and stuff because I was doing some other stuff around the house. But I mean, what can you say about Dawn of the Dead? The only bad thing I can say about Dawn of the Dead is I do think that it's a little long. I know for big fans that doesn't matter, but I do think it is a little bit long. But other than that, it's a fun zombie movie. You can't go wrong with George A. Romero. And all the actors, and Tom Savini and Ken Foree and all the actors and everybody that's in that. And like I told Brian, like it always gives me a little bit of a chuckle looking at the makeup from Dawn of the Dead. I mean, obviously makeup was different back then. TVs were different. Everything's different, but it's just so fun to watch it now. And they're like, the zombies are like blue. But I love it. It's great. Great practical effects. Great everything. So yeah, happy anniversary to Dawn of the Dead. Hey Dan, how are you? Hello Raven Wolf, how are you? Hello, hello, hello. Hope there are plenty of boobs and butter in Pool Party Massacre 2. I don't know about the butter, but I'm sure there's going to be some boobs. Dawn is the greatest Fantastic Four movie that Marvel never made. I don't know what that is. When we start talking about Marvel and some of this other stuff, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I know what some stuff is, but I don't know what it all is. I'm so sorry. Okay. Anyway, so Mother's Day is the 11th, and you cannot forget to watch your Mother's Day movies. Am I not correct? So make sure you're watching the old 1980 Mother's Day, which is this one right here. I have the DVD, and I have the Vinegar Syndrome copy as well. Really love the cover on this. This is always a staple for Mother's Day. You always have to watch this one. It's great. It's fun. It's cheesy. Can't go wrong with a crazy family. And then we move on to this Mother's Day. I believe, when did this one come out? I cannot remember. Was it 2010? I was about to say 2009, 2010, something like that, with Rebecca De Mornay. Highly recommend this one if you have not seen this version. It's nothing like this at all. It's still, you got a bit of a crazy family, but it's not like this one. It's more, I think this one's more like drama thriller in a way, and then they take people hostage and all this other stuff. I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it, but I highly recommend this particular Mother's Day with Rebecca De Mornay. And of course, you cannot go wrong with Rebecca De Mornay in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That's a good Mother's Day staple movie right there. That's your another drama thriller movie. Ernie Hudson is in that from Ghostbusters, and I think he did such an excellent job with the character. You feel really bad for him, you know, in the movie. And Rebecca De Mornay, even in this movie, because she's the mom, obviously the head of the family, and in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, she just plays like crazy woman, like to a T. Like, she's just awesome as Psycho Lady. So Hand That Rocks the Cradle, that's another great recommendation for Mother's Day. And then if you want something like a dark comedy, Serial Mom with Kathleen Turner. That's a fun one. That's a fun little horror comedy movie. So that's a really cool recommendation for Mother's Day. Before I go into my next movie, do y'all have any recommendations for Mother's Day that you guys like to watch? Rebecca De Mornay is also in Risky Business. The one time where she's not psycho. Yeah, she's hot as hell though. Oh, she's hot. Yeah. She's gorgeous lady. I will see you next week, Corey. Hello, Corey. Texas Frightmare. Yay. But anyway, going into Mother's Day movies, so if you need something new to watch and you are into indie horror films, then I have a movie for you. It is on Amazon. It's called The Dead Window. My friend JB here on the chat, he is one of the producers of the movie. And it's only an hour and 13 minutes long, which is great. Perfect. I like that. But it is on Amazon to rent. I rented it for $4.99. So may want to go do that. I'm not sure. JB, do you know if it's going to be streaming anywhere soon or maybe on Tubi or something like that? I'm not sure. But this is a great little Mother's Day movie because you got another psycho mom. Mom Cora, who is played by Jennifer de Blasio. I hope I'm saying her last name right. There is a 15-minute documentary with Jennifer de Blasio on Vimeo, Vimeo. I hope I'm saying that right too. If you would like to see the documentary as well on The Dead Window. And the lead actress that plays the mom is in that documentary, and it's nice to hear her. I say watch the movie and then the documentary because it's nice to hear her kind of talk about her character and her mom character and how psycho she is, and talk about the movie and everything. So I say watch it after. But you have Cora, the mom, Piper, who's the daughter, and Piper had a boyfriend. His name was Ott. Or James was his real name, but they called him Ott. And he's gone. He's passed away, although everybody keeps telling her that he like just left, but he's actually dead. And she, throughout the movie, Piper is seeing him. He's kind of always there when stuff is happening between her and her mom. Her and her mom have not the best of relationship. Her mom is very overbearing and very protective. A little weird acting. I feel like when I first started watching this, I felt like I was thinking of the aunt in Sleepaway Camp. you know how over the top she is and stuff. Like she reminded me of her. She's very just over the top, kind of a mom. Like, get away, you know. And you can tell throughout the movie there's some backstory and stuff that happens. You can tell throughout the movie that you know, the mom didn't really care for the boyfriend and all that, and even her friends didn't really care for the boyfriend. They thought that he was mean to her and everything. But you can tell that she just was like, you know, what are y'all talking about? I love him, and you know. But throughout the movie, you see him just kind of with her, and she's kind of talking to him, but he, you know, obviously is not actually there. And then you kind of get a whole backstory of what happened. You do find out, and you kind of figure this out. So I'm not really giving anything away, but that the mom had killed the boyfriend, you know. So she does kind of find that out through the ending of the movie. I don't know, it's kind of really psychological a little bit, this movie. The mom is very psycho. As the movie goes on, she gets more and more psycho, and like I said, you get more and more of the backstory of what actually happened. I like the actress that played Piper, the daughter. I really enjoyed her. I wouldn't mind seeing her in some other stuff. The acting with everybody else was a little but you know, whatever. I'm not an actress. My acting, I'm sure, is horrible. So I really have nothing to judge with anybody else. But you know, it's an independent film. But it was good. It's a nice little psycho mom story, and you get that banter between the mom and the daughter, and there's you know, another little message going on. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I give it at least a good 7 out of 10. So I highly recommend that. The Dead Window. If you need something new to watch, it's a fun, independent movie, and great for Mother's Day. So, yay! There's a real horror movie called Mother's Day starring Eric Roberts' sister. Oh, hey, Sin666 the Pug, how are you doing? You're Meryl Streep compared to Eric Roberts' sister. Hello, Last Elm Street Kid, how are you? What are y'all talking about? Are you talking about the comedy drama Mother's Day? Is that what y'all are talking about? JB, I really enjoyed the movie. Is that what y'all are talking about, though? Because I know there's a few movies out there called Mother's Day, but the other ones are like comedies and dramas, though. Is that? Oh, okay. See, I haven't seen that movie, but I know what you're talking about because I know there's like a lot of different actors and stuff in that movie, right? Okay, well, let's move on to our next movie. Let's move on to Immaculate, because I honestly don't have a lot to say about that. Which is funny. I don't have a whole lot to say about that, but I wrote a lot of notes down for Immaculate. Isn't that funny? I liked Immaculate, though. Okay, so I really liked Immaculate. I did rent it on Amazon for $9.99. I don't know if it was streaming anywhere else. But I didn't see it streaming on anything that I had, so I rented it for $9.99. I say just wait and watch it for free. Not because I don't think it's good. I think it was great. But I just say, at this point in time, just wait for something to stream for free, really. But it is Italian. It's made in Italy, but you get a little bit of Italian language in it, but it is in English. It's an hour and 30 minutes long, so that's perfect. You get Sister Cecilia, who she moves to Italy to say her vows, right? But at the beginning of the movie, you see a sister who isn't, a full nun yet. This is the beginning of the movie now. It starts off strong. She is escaping the convent, wherever she's going to. I guess the convent, whatever. Um, she's escaping the convent, and you immediately see her like freaking out and screaming, and she's trying to get through the gate. And then these nuns start walking up to her, and it's like a really freaky moment of nuns trying to come, walking up to her. And then all of a sudden, like, you see her like dragged away really fast. And then they stick a pitchfork, I think, in her leg. I think it was. They stuck a pitchfork in her leg, and then they burn her alive. Like, that's the whole beginning of Immaculate. Like, that all happens within like a minute. It's like, whoa, this starts off strong, and these nuns are insane, that something's happening. But beyond that, the best way for me to tell you about Immaculate is this. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, we did the first Omen. I've already talked about the first Omen, and I really, really liked the first Omen. It really went along with the other ones. I really enjoyed it. Brian had already watched Immaculate before the first Omen, and he really enjoyed Immaculate. And on the podcast, and I even mentioned on my live too, Brian had said that the first Omen is exactly like Immaculate. Exactly. And I was just like, okay, and he likes Immaculate better. Okay. So Brian was correct. He was so correct on that. Immaculate, if you've already watched the first Omen and you haven't watched Immaculate, or vice versa, they're the exact same movie. No joke. Like, almost the exact same story. Except for the first Omen, you have, the whole Damien thing going on. And then Immaculate has a little bit of little things here and there that are for its movie. But when I tell you that the story is exactly the same, it's the exact same movie to a T. So I find that a little odd. I like both movies, though. Even though they're the same movie, I enjoy both of them. I think I have to say that I like the Omen a little better just because I like the Omen movies. And I guess it's because I watched that one first. And then Brian watched the Immaculate first, so he likes that one better. So, and the characters in Immaculate and the first Omen, the nuns, the characters are all exactly the same. No joke. Like, the personalities, the characteristics, and who, like, it's all exactly the same. So there's really no reason for me to tell you the synopsis of Immaculate, because if you already watched the first Omen, it's pretty much the same thing. And if you have watched both of these movies, do you not think that they are exactly the same story? And which one is your favorite? It's just to a point where you just watch both of them, and then if you have a favorite, you have a favorite. Again, I guess I like the first Omen better, but I like both of them. They're both the same movie. I mean, so it's like, okay, we want to make, people out there want to make different movies and make their own movies, but I mean, how did that happen? For two movies to come out at exactly the same time and be exactly pretty much the same movie. It's really, really odd to me. I would like to know everybody's thoughts on that. That's what I want to know. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, as a horror fan, do you want to sit here and have the same religious movie over and over and over and over and over? You know? But yeah, it's very, very strangely the exact same movie. Now, the ending of Immaculate was shocking. Now, I say the word shocking because that's just the best word to describe it. I don't know if anything shocks you guys anymore. Nothing really shocks me. So I kind of went, oh, with the ending. But it is shocking. So the ending was very good. Was very good on Immaculate. And then the ending with the first Omen, it went right along into the Omen. it went right along into Damien. So, yeah, same movie. And then, so I was figuring that out as I was watching Immaculate, so I made other points. So there were some kills in this that I thought were creative in Immaculate, because she's killing one nun with rosary beads, and then she's killing one nun, or I think it was a priest or something, with a really huge cross. So I was like, okay, that's cool to do killings with rosary beads, a cross, that's kind of fun. My gnarly moment for Immaculate was when she's giving birth, or well, I'll just say that I don't want to spoil it. Anyway, giving birth, you see one of the nuns take the sheets with all the blood and all the stuff on it, take the sheets and sniffs them. Yes, I said that. She takes the sheets, buries her face in them, and sniffs them, because, the baby was supposed to be, same thing as Damien. And I was like, oh, that is gross. When she did that, when she took the sheets away from her, there was blood all over her face. That was gross. So that was my gnarly moment in the movie. And then there were the nuns were really creepy, like really creepy. There was some stuff going on with them. I think nuns are just creepy anyway. Let's see what else. Oh, and then okay, so in the Omen, the babies are born with the 666 already engraved into their skin. Well, with Immaculate, what I thought was interesting, that I kind of thought was something a little similar, was the women that end up being pregnant. They use a hot poker thing and put an emblem of a cross on the bottom of their feet. So that happened. So it's kind of in the same realm of the 666 on the first Omen stuff. So yeah, I mean, exactly the same story. But it was good. I mean, okay. What are y'all saying? I'm about to talk about Infested next, which I really loved. I have heard they're in works for a new arachnophobia movie. Yes. Eight-Legged Freaks is fun. That is a good movie. Nunsploitation. Yes, that's what that would be. Both movies will make one hell of a double feature. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Eight-Legged Freaks is great. Hello from Germany. How are you? Oh, Lust for a Vampire. I love Hammer horror. I watched Scars of Dracula last night. Love some Hammer horror. Deep Impact and Armageddon. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Those were very similar, and they came out around the same time in 98. Hello, have cheated with you. How are you? Hello, Halloween King Myers. Hello, hello. Yes, we were just talking about the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K release earlier, me, Brian, and Steven. So that's exciting for the 4K, right? There needs to be a whole box set of the 4K. Okay, so since we're talking about spiders, y'all, I have a awesome recommendation for you guys. A young lady on my Twitter, Mrs. Halloween, I can't remember how your Twitter name goes, Mrs. Halloween something, you got the purple hair, so pretty. She was really wanting to hear my thoughts on Infested, and everybody else I seen was watching Infested and posting about it, and I finally got to watch it. It is on Shudder. It's about an hour and 46 minutes long. It is a French movie, so it is in French. Y'all know how I am about my foreign movies. I don't normally do foreign movies a whole lot, but lately I've been giving them a go, and I've been liking them. So hey, I hate spiders, but I will love to watch a movie about spiders. So I was very happy to watch Infested, and I am extremely happy that I did. Out of all of the movies that I have talked about, Infested was my favorite. I highly, highly suggest Infested if you have not watched it. The good thing about the dialogue, for someone like me who's not into foreign films and I don't really like to read my movies a whole lot, there wasn't like big lengthy dialogues with the characters. So it's not like there was all this lengthy stuff I had to read. So that was good. Because really, they're just trying to survive. I'm about to get comfy. Hold on a minute, y'all. Let me get comfy. Okay. All right. So, with Infested, the main character, Caleb, him and his sister live together. Their mom has passed away. They don't mention the dad at all. I don't remember them mentioning a dad, but their mom has passed away. So Caleb and his sister are living by themselves. And you learn really quick from the beginning of the movie that Caleb is pretty much a thief. And you learn really quick that pretty much everybody in this movie is some sort of thief or doing something they shouldn't be doing. A drug dealer or something to try to make money. I believe the sister is maybe possibly a prostitute or of some sort or something, because the brother kept kind of implying things like that throughout the movie and what she does. So, like, she's some sort of escort or something, maybe. I'm not sure. But he's a thief. And he steals, like, expensive shoes, like Nikes and things, and sells them to other people and everything. But he had dabbled in insects, and he's into insects and lizards and reptiles and all of that. And he is talking, at the beginning of the movie, he is talking to a guy at a convenience store who is also doing illegal things behind the counter. And so Caleb goes behind the counter with him because he wants to grab a pair of earrings for somebody for a gift. And he sees that he has this weird looking spider in this box. And he's like, oh, I want to buy the spider too. Because, like, the guy, like, sells stuff like that too. So he sells him the spider and the earrings. So because of Caleb buying the spider and wanting to put it with his collection at home of other insects and reptiles, we do learn at the beginning of the movie that there's something going on with these spiders. And sure enough, there are. I don't know what, but, like, maybe they're, like, cursed in some sort of way, or so there's some strange type of spider. But of course, they live in an apartment complex. The spider gets out of the box, and then you have the whole rest of the movie, and it's called Infested for a reason, because this spider can have a lot of babies, does have a lot of babies, and continues to have babies, and continues to grow as well, like it's bigger and bigger. So now you have baby spiders, you have medium-sized spiders, you have large spiders, you have a spider as big as this room. I mean, there are spiders everywhere in this apartment complex, and now the whole movie is like a survival movie, trying to get out of the apartment complex, trying to survive. And it's a whole group of friends. It's Caleb, his sister, and a whole group of friends. And their friends are dying off along the way with the spiders. I can tell you this. This was one fantastic spider movie. And for jump scares, usually with movies with jump scares, you kind of know it's going to happen. And jump scares are kind of like, eh. But jump scares in this movie with spiders is on a whole other level. It totally works. Okay. You're going to have the heebie-jeebies. You're not going to like spiders. You're going to want to check your shoes after after you watch this. But the characters were I didn't really write much down because I was really into the movie. I was really into the character surviving and trying to get out. And Caleb, you know, even though he's a thief and all that, he's still a good person. And later on in the movie, you know, he realizes, if I wouldn't have bought the spider, none of this would be happening. You know, my friends would be alive. And he has a moment in the movie, you know, a very emotional moment in the movie, which, you know, kind of gets you a little bit, you know, because you're thinking too, damn, dude, you shouldn't have bought that fucking spider, you know? So now this is what's happening. And then like a whole SWAT team has to come, and they won't let them out of the building because they think that everybody is contaminated now. Like it's really crazy what happens in this movie. And then there's another emotional part in the movie too, where Caleb, his sister, and I think one other person, yeah, three of them had made it to a room and shut the door, and their other friend got caught in a web and in a cocoon. These spiders make cocoons. And got caught in a cocoon, and while they're in this other room, they're hearing their friend, you know, passing away from the spiders, and it's not very pleasant. And so that's a whole moment, an emotional moment in the movie as well. The three of them just bursting into tears and just like, oh my God, because they can hear their friend, you know. So that was a pretty emotional part of the movie too, and I felt that, you know, from the characters. So, I mean, when you say, oh, it's a spider movie, like, this is an intense spider movie. It really is. And then the structure of the building that they're in, it's like this circle building. That was really cool looking. And then what they have to do to the building at the end, it just looked cool. But yeah, that was neat. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed Infested. So thank you everybody that wanted me to watch it, told me to watch it, and it was great. I highly suggest it. Again, it's on Shudder if you haven't seen it. Hello, Cody. How are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. How are you doing? Yeah, I like the kills involving the spiders, all the makeup, and the special effects and some practical effects and some CGI and all that, all was done very well. Very well. And the one guy's arm, ugh. Then he was like rubbing it on the glass. Oh God, that was gross. But that was good though. His arm looked gross. Hello, Brandon. How are you? Hello, Justin. How are you? Thank you for joining in. Kingdom of the Spiders is a good one. I watched that one not too long ago too, because somebody posted it on Twitter or X, and yeah, I've watched that. That was really good. That was a fun one. Yeah, so Kingdom of the Spiders, Arachnophobia, Infested. Brian said that there's another movie called Sting that was really good that he liked. I haven't watched that one, but he said that's good. So yay for spider movies. So Infested was great. Highly recommend Infested. Okay, let's see what else. Let's talk about another movie I highly recommend, and I did post about this one, and I'm hoping that everybody did go watch it. House of Long Shadows, which is on Tubi. It's got Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Vincent Price. You cannot go wrong with those three. This movie was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. It came out, I think it was 83, so it's a real early 80s movie. I'm guessing it's a Hammer horror too, but awesome cast, fun movie. The special effects and the makeup of this was really good. And then you get that insane twist ending with it. I do not want to give it away at all. But there's a really huge twist ending with House of Long Shadows that will remind you of maybe my favorite horror movie. If you know what that is, You should know what that is by now. But it was so good, and I put it on my wish list. I would love to have that in my collection. That was such a great movie, and that was a movie I'd never seen before, and that was a really good first watch. Then I had also done a podcast this past Sunday. I did the Creature Feature podcast, and we talked about a movie I had never heard of. And I wrote stuff down for that. Hold on. It's called Summer Camp Nightmare. It came out in 87. Have y'all even heard of that one? The only place that it's showing was YouTube. So I did have to watch it on the YouTube. It's an hour and 30 minutes long. It's a PG-13. To me, it seemed like it maybe could have been some sort of like TV movie, but some TV movies back then were really, really good. This has Chuck Connors in it as well, who's also in Tourist Trap. He plays Mr. Warren, who is the head of the camp. And it's not a slasher movie at all. It's not a slasher movie. It is, I guess it's somewhat, it is considered horror. I say more drama thriller, but it is horror though. I mean, there's some stuff in it that's, pretty crazy. But what happens with this, it reminds me somewhat of Lord of the Flies a little bit. When you're first watching the movie, I was thinking Meatballs a little bit, just because it's just at the beginning of the movie, it just seems like your normal 80s camp movie, like Meatballs. And the characters were kind of funny a little bit. And so I was thinking Meatballs and Lord of the Flies. There's another movie called Beware Children at Play, where the kids are kind of crazy. It kind of reminded me of that, and Children of the Corn. So let's say very Children of the Corn, Lord of the Flies, Meatballs kind of a thing. So what happens is Mr. Warren, Chuck Connors, he won't let the girls camp. There is a girls camp too. He won't let the girls camp. Oh, my picture went away. There we go. I'm back. He won't let the girls camp come over to the boys camp. Like, he won't let them mingle. He only lets them watch religious channels on the TVs. Like, he's very strict on what these kids can do at the camp. And this one kid, Franklin, he's one of the older kids, obviously. He's like, F this. Let's take over the camp. Let's take over everything. Let's do everything our way. So they end up taking Mr. Warren hostage and some of the other adults. And they end up taking over the camp. Now, Franklin kind of becomes like the head of it all and is ordering people around. So then it kind of becomes his own kind of cult thing, which is where I say Children of the Corn, Lord of the Flies kind of comes in. Maybe more Children of the Corn. But yeah, they become very cultish all of a sudden. And now they're all of a sudden becoming a little crazy. Like, Franklin's kind of becoming a little crazy and wanting, like, they get a gun and start pointing guns at people. And then, things happen to where Mr. Warren gets shot. Other people die. And yeah, so it's one of those movies where the kids kind of take over and become a cult in a way. And kind of just do their own thing and become crazy. And of course, you have the other kids there's a couple of kids that aren't into it and don't want to follow Franklin's rules and don't want to be a part of everything, and of course they want to do stuff to them. And so, yeah, they get a little crazy and insane as the movie goes on. And that's pretty much what it's about. It was decent. It was a decent movie. But yeah, it's on YouTube if you want to check that one out, Summer Camp Nightmare. And that one came out in 1987. Surprised I never seen that one or heard about that one. I usually know my 80s movies. But yeah, that was fun. And they call it a revolution. Instead of a cult, they call it a revolution. So, okay. And then American Horror Story had ended, not last week, but the week before. I didn't get to talk about last week. American Horror Story ended, and it ended well. But I think I'm kind of over the American Horror Stories. It's just this one was just kind of and then you have Kim Kardashian was in it, and I'm just like, okay. Although she did okay. I mean, for the role that she played, she played it well. She played a bitch, and she's like the head witch. So there you go. But yeah, I think I'm kind of done with American Horror Stories. They're just getting more and more bland. I like Emma Roberts, though. I know some people are not a fan of Emma Roberts. I like her. But it just didn't do anything for me. I was just like, yeah, okay. And again, it's about pregnancy and cults and devil babies and all that, like Immaculate and The First Omen. And then, of course, Chucky. We have to talk about Chucky. Chucky ended. It was the last episode. I know everybody's sad. I didn't do the phone number. I don't know why. I didn't do the phone number. I figured everybody else was going to do the phone number and tell me and post about it and tell me if something was said, and I guess you get some kind of message from Chucky or whatever. But I am going to say this, okay? I'm going to say this. I liked this season. I liked season 3. I liked it in the White House. I absolutely love Devon Sawa. I love him in all his different roles and all that. Love that. I love the kills in all the kills are always creative and always fun. Chucky has a thing for eyeballs, so that's fun and everything. I am a little disappointed, though, we didn't get much of Nika and Tiffany until like the last 2 episodes. I wanted a little more of them. I'm glad Tiffany's not dead. I liked the ending to where they're back in the dolls. But Brian made a good point. I'll tell you about his point, and then we can discuss. I like that they're back in the dolls, but Caroline driving and her in this red lipstick, and I'm just like, what's going on? I guess I don't know. I was getting sick of the kids. Like, I was getting very annoyed by, what's her face, always talking about Caroline. I know she's trying to find her sister. I get that, but I was just getting to a point, oh my God, can we please find Caroline? Because I was just getting really annoyed by that storyline. And we finally found Caroline, thank God, and I'm happy now. And then they turned the kids into puppets. Which, I say I was kind of getting sick of the kids, which I am. I'm just annoyed by all 3 of them. I'm just saying. And now they're puppets, so okay, maybe they'll be puppets for a while so we can get more Nika and more something else happening besides the kids. But okay, so now they're puppets. That's a little ridiculous, I guess. I don't know. It's going a little off kilter for me. A little bit. The first season of Chucky was awesome. Everything was awesome to the T. I didn't really care for season 2. I do like season 3 more than season 2. But it's kind of starting to go like way off kilter though. So Brian made a good point. This whole time within all of the movies and stuff, Charles Lee Ray has been trying to get out of the doll. He wants to get out of the doll. And he finally got out of the doll. Right? I liked the ghost thing with Charles Lee Ray. That didn't bother me at all. But he got out of the doll and he was in Jake. I'm so bad with names. He was in Jake. So Brian was like, well, what if for him, because he's kind of getting over it too, what if they would have just kept him in Jake, and then with the next season, Jake or Charles Lee Ray is now doing the killing. So that's an interesting take. I didn't think of it that way. If he would have just stayed in Jake, because he didn't want to be in the doll. So that could have been interesting if they went that way with it, but they didn't go that way with it. He's back in the doll again, and then Tiffany's back in her doll. So, which I'm good with. But I need to get back to it. I need to get it back to a little more seriousness, though. Just a little bit more seriousness, you know? It's just going off a little bit. So, yeah. Yeah, Chucky's good. But some of the stuff, I'm just like, okay. 80s do rock. I do agree with you. And Beware Children at Play is a classic. That's a good one. And a lot of people have not seen that movie. Well, by seed of Chucky, he accepted to being a killer doll. Right, but even after that, he's even said he wanted to get out of the doll, though, too. So, I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. I'm just glad the kids are puppets right now, because they're starting to annoy me. They just were. All right, let's see what else. American Horror Story, Chucky. I think I talked about all the movies I wanted to talk about. So yeah, and I've talked about everything else I wanted to talk about. Don't forget about Henry Winkler. Will be here May 30th. So if you are in town or if you live here in Las Vegas, make sure you make plans for May 30th. We'll have the Fonz or Principal Mr. Hembry from Scream. Henry Winkler will be here from 2 to 4. I'm very, very, very excited about this sighting. I'm absolutely honored to have Henry Winkler come to my store. He is doing something else here in Las Vegas, so he was making time to come here to the store to do this for us. So thank you very much, Henry Winkler, and thank you very much to our agent Peter for hooking us up with this and calling us and saying, hey, we have a couple of hours, we can come do a store signing if you want us to. And so thank you very much to him as well. All right. Yes, John Waters is in it. I like John Waters. Yeah, he's in it too. My only complaint was that the kids were starting to annoy me, and I was getting so sick of Caroline, of her trying to find Caroline. I'm just like, can we please find Caroline? And we did, so that's done and over. So I'm good now. All right. I think that's really about all I have to talk about, guys. I'm sure I have talked y'all's ear off enough. It's been over an hour now. But make sure to... Philip's going, yeah. Make sure to come see us next weekend at Texas Frightmare. If you're going to be at Texas Frightmare, we will be there, Nightmare Toys. And we will have these fun ghost face figures there at the booth. And we'll have some other fun stuff at the booth too. Oops. I just lost that one. And I was going to show you guys that, and I just lost it. Hold on. Let me get it. Got it. Oops. These are some new Squaredy cats we just got in, and I believe... Oh, I'm sitting on stuff. I believe that Brian put them on the website. Did he put them on the website? I think. I don't know. I didn't ask him if he put them on the website. Well, just look up Squaredy cats and see if they're on there. But they're squishy. So they're more like pillows. They're big. The other ones we had were smaller. So this is Frankenstein. And then this is the Bride. And then, speaking of Chucky, we have one Chucky one. We're going to order some more. But we have this Chucky one that's also Tiffany on the other side. How cool is that? So we've got those, and we're waiting on some more shirts, and we're still, like I said, we're still waiting on other stuff too. But we do have those. So check those out on the website. And make sure you remember for the Mother's Day sale for Sunday. We'll have that going on. And go watch Immaculate. You can rent it on Amazon, like I said, or you can just wait for it streaming. But I liked it, but it's the exact same movie as the first Omen. Immaculate. And make sure you're watching your Dawn of the Dead for the 45th anniversary. Make sure you're watching your Mother's Day movies for Mother's Day. You've got Mother's Day with Rebecca De Mornay, and then you've got the 1980 version as well. And then the movie I have talked about, The Dead Window. Please go watch that indie horror. And remember, there is a 15-minute documentary on Vimeo for that movie too. The Dead Window. Very good. And then Tarot, if you want to go check that out, I say just wait for it to stream. And Infested, please watch Infested because that was really good. That's on Shudder. So please go watch all of that and tell me what you think. Just message me wherever you follow me and tell me what you think. Okay? All right. Next week, I don't know what movie we're going to cover. We haven't figured that out, but we'll figure it out. And I will see y'all next week. Make sure you are following me on all social media, on my Instagram and my Twitter and my OnlyFans. I do not have the Fansly anymore. So there's no more Fansly. I only have the OnlyFans. That's all I have for spicy content. And then Nightmare Toys is on all social media as well. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Make sure you're on the YouTube, and we will post the video of my head casting for Pool Party Massacre 2. We'll post that really soon here on the YouTube as well. Okay? All right, guys. I will see y'all next week, and y'all stay spooky. Bye.